and welcome back. This is my Discover Disappointment, University review. Or final thoughts, however you want to think about it. We've been doing this series for quite a while now, and I always like to do a little review of the pack at the end of the series to just kind of talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and I've broken it down into a couple different parts. So we'll be looking at Create a Sim, Build and Buy, the gameplay aspects, which I'm breaking up into the world, dormitories, classes and degrees, and also graduation activities and skills, organizations, and then the last kind of category is like my overall and farewell. I've got a lot of words written down in my notes here, to be precise, 1,411. So if you want a fairly detailed ramble, this is the review for you, because I never sugarcoat things, because I don't know, I'm not paid by EA, so I'm going to talk about my true opinions. I mean, I know they say game changers aren't, but like, really? We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, so you guys are looking at a bunch of little Sims clips. There's a lot of them, of things that are happening to the Sims that we played with in university, and just kind of like filling out some more loose ends, some plot holes, and like kind of closing off the series nicely. There's some creator Sims, there's some, weddings, there's some babies, all the fun stuff, and you're just looking at that, and it'll be a good time, I think. I don't know, I had a lot of fun. I've been doing like recording clips for like 2 hours now, so there's not 2 hours of clips though, don't worry, I'm not rambling for that long. But yeah, I'm gonna dive right on into it with where everyone, I think, starts. That's where I start anyways when there's a new pack, is Creator Sim. So let's talk about Cass. I liked the hairs. I thought the hairs were good. Some of the male hairs seemed a little bit weird, like they were just like a bit bigger than what I thought they should be. Like that one, the male like poofy one, it was like a bit too poofy, but it wasn't too bad. I thought it was okay. It was a nice hairs, good textures, good selection. Some of them I probably won't use, but there were some nice ones. Next are the tattoos. I liked that they added in some tattoos here. I thought that was really cool, and the tattoos are obviously unisex, so that's why we're talking about them first. I don't know. Live dangerously, right? So tattoos, they were cool, simple designs, cute, fit with the theme of the pack. Okay. Now, we got a new thing here in Creator Sim, which are the facial piercings. One, I'm a little annoyed that they take up the earring slot. That's kind of dumb, I think. I don't know. I feel like they should have had their own slot because, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a great concept. I thought some of the placement on the eyebrow piercings looked a bit too high, and they just looked off because, like, they'd, like, pierce where the actual eyebrow was and then a little bit above it, and I thought that looked kind of weird. Like, it was okay, but I'm like, is that really how people, like, don't you have one at the top, one at the bottom? I don't know, maybe I'm old school, maybe I don't know what's hip and trendy. Actually, that's probably quite true, but I just thought it looked a little weird. I don't know. And I thought the nose rings looked good. They were cool. So I would have liked to see some more colors and designs and stuff, but that's okay. That's, it's a start, and I imagine they'll continue to expand on that. I also, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure why it's a pack-specific thing. Like, kind of sucks that people with base game don't get to have a nose ring. I don't know. Anyways, that's just me. Okay, next. I really liked the female items. Like, the clothes for females were awesome. They were cute. They had lots of different textures. Like, even in, like, some of the dresses, they had, like, different textures on shirts. So they'd have, like, a plain color shirt, and then they'd have, like, a kind of stretchy, stained material kind of shirt. So they had different kind of fabric looks for some of these things, which I thought looked really good. And I also really liked all the patterns, the colors, the shapes. Like, they were all really nicely done. They were comfortable looking. They were just good looking clothes. Now onto the male clothes. I didn't like them. I don't know. Look, I apologize. This review is literally just giving me going, I really didn't like it, because honestly, I was really disappointed with this pack. I once we got out of Creator Sim and out of build mode is where it really got downhill for me. So I'm just warning you, I'm going to be a little bit negative today because honestly, I wouldn't have to be negative if EA didn't water down their packs to be basic. So, you know, that's just me, but we'll talk about that a bit more. Anyways, so I just thought the male items were a bit too, like, hipster for me. It's kind of like, I don't know if it was hipster or what, but none of them seem to really have, like, a theme, I guess. I don't know. I didn't, like, a lot of the jeans looked like, you know, Oak had stolen, like, they'd stolen their girlfriend's jeans or something. I don't know. It was kind of weird. And there was a lot of, like, stuff where you're like, oh yeah, that kind of works in the pack theme. And then, like, all I thought the nice stuff were the school spirit swatches. I don't know. There was some okay stuff, but I didn't really like most of it. I don't know, for boys. It just, I don't know. I didn't like them. They seemed kind of alpha. I didn't like the pants showing the underwear. That's dumb. I don't know. I don't like that in real life. I don't like it in The Sims. That's just me. Maybe some people do, but I was not a fan of the male Creator Sim. What do you guys think of it? Did you like it? I don't know. It just seemed off. That's just me. Some of it seemed a bit alpha too, so I don't know. Anyways, that's that. I do like that they had a good balance, though. This is my positive thing about casts, I guess. I mean, I liked most of the casts, but my positive thing is that they had a good mixture of school spirit items and also a good mixture of not school spirit items. And I also like that all the school spirit items that they had, like with the logos and stuff, is what I mean by school spirit, is that they had normal swatches for those items too. So, like, yeah, there was a cute cardigan that was, like, red and white and had a little shrimp on it, but, you know, there was also, like, it came in a pink swatch and it came, like, in plain swatches too. So I thought that was really good because, I mean, obviously, if you didn't go to Foxbury or you didn't go to Brightchester, you know, you don't want to wear that shirt, and, you know, you can't really use it in general gameplay, so I like that they've got some plain swatches in there of those items that they had for School Spirit to be, you know, plain and stuff, and just so that you can use them anywhere. So I thought that was good. So I really liked the cast, apart from the few minor issues I mentioned with the male clothes and also just the facial piercing sitting a bit weird. I don't know, I thought that was weird. On to build and buy now. So I thought it was good. I liked build and buy. Look at this. See? Positive. I can be positive. This is probably where the positivity ends, but I can be positive. I thought they did a great variety of a great job of having a variety of items. They had pretty much everything. They kind of kept everything matching. It fit with the tone, and they had some cool, like, little fun stuff. There was some cute stuff. There was some quirky stuff, like, you know, it was pretty good. They had some nice bright swatches, which I like because I like lots of colors. We also got a bunch of new gameplay items, such as bikes. I kind of like the bikes. I find there's pathing issues with the bikes. Like, they prefer to, like, they get on their bike and ride down the hallway, and then they stop when there's the stairs of the house, and they walk down the stairs and they get back on the bike. It's like, it's kind of weird. I don't know. But we did get bikes, and they're a little bit weird. I don't mind them. We also got juice pong, which is obviously beer pong. Fun interaction. I would have liked to see the ball that they used in the juice pong item to be, like, when you're actually playing with it, to be not 2D. It's, like, very 2D. It's not 3D. I get that they did that to maybe look like it was moving really fast, but it just looked kind of weird to me and off. I don't know. We got kegs. I really like the kegs. I think they're really cool. My only issue is that everyone wants to use them all the time. So maybe they need to turn down the autonomy setting on those because, I mean, my Sims were having a party in one of my saves, and the grandmas started doing keg stands together. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, but, like, I don't know. And then, like, there was just, like, a queue, and just people kept on doing keg stands. I'm like, okay, well, it's a little bit excessive. Like, just get a cup, okay? I don't know. So they're cool item, but maybe turn down the autonomy on them. We got a soccer ball with a brand new soccer interactions where you kick the ball and stuff. I would have liked to see, I don't know, an after school sport or something, more soccer related stuff. I like to see hobby related items. Having the soccer ball doesn't really do much. There's not even a goal post to shoot it, so it's like, okay, well, we just gotta kick our ball around, that's fine. I feel like a hacky sack might have been better or something like that, but yeah, okay, it was cool, I guess. I like that they can kick the ball between each other. That's fun interactions. And we also got a couple new crafting stations and like items that relate to organizations. So I'm going to talk about those when we get to the organizations part of the gameplay, because I feel like they fit a little bit better there, but there is to note, there is a couple new other gameplay items that were like crafting stations or items that tie directly back to skills that relate to clubs, and so I just like, yeah, we'll just talk about them there. So that's what's going on. So talking about gameplay, segue, we're going to start talking about that, and we're going to start talking about the world first, because I don't know, that's the first thing you see when you get in game, is you see the cool new icon, you see the world, you get to pick where to live. Like, that's the first thing you do when you start a game. So we're talking about that part. Brightchester, the world, because this is where it gets confusing. It's also the world and the one of the campus. So it's broken up into 3 parts. You've got a neutral territory, you've got Brightchester campus, and you've got Foxbury campus. So I think it's like Foxbury Institute. There's 2 schools and then 1 little neutral zone. I thought the world was visually appealing. It had lots of details. I liked the kind of canal that goes through it. I also liked all the set details of all the houses around. It made it feel very clustered and stuff. I would have liked to see a couple more lots, because I think there wasn't many, and I would have liked to see at least 1 or 2 maybe bigger lots as well, because we only really got smaller lots. And I would have liked to see a couple more, maybe just a bit more to do there, but that's okay. I liked that there was a neutral zone. I found that really good, because I had Sims that went to Foxbury and I had Sims that went to Brightchester. And so I liked that I could have them living in the same lot, and I could play the same household and, you know, go to both schools and keep on doing that. And so I could still be kind of involved in the campus life and stuff, but without being, you know, all that sort of stuff. Like, you didn't have to live in a dorm. Talking about dorms, that's what we're going to talk about next. So if you watched my Let's Play, you would know that I was very disheartened when I started playing with dorms. And, well, I was really enjoying dorms until it was time to go to bed. Because, you know that thing, right, where there's a sim awake on the lot and it doesn't go into super speed and you have to watch really slowly, and it's like this, and you have to wait really long, and it takes like 5 minutes to get through the night because it's slow. Yeah, well, dorm mates do that because they don't sleep when you want them to, and they're not like butlers that you can say, hey, go to sleep. They just do what they want, and you gotta hope that they go to sleep, but they don't. And to me, that makes dorms unplayable, because I should be able to have my sim go through the night super speedy. I'm not controlling these sims. Let me sleep. If all sims in the active household are asleep, it should go super speed. Even better, we should be able to pick, like in previous games, when it goes super speed. That's all I want. Other than that, let's talk about, I don't know, dorms don't really offer much. Your dorm mates obviously help with rent, I guess. There's roommates now too, they can help with rent. Dorm mates pretty much bring home food. My Sims had like 20 plates of food on the balcony. It was great. I don't know. There wasn't much that. So apart from, you know, spending your time waiting for your dorm mates to sleep, what can you actually do at university? Well, you go to class, of course. So let's talk about that next. classes and degrees is my next on my list. So, there is a total of 13 degrees, and they were kind of cool. I don't know, they were cool. I would have liked to see more. Not every degree, like, not all careers have a degree that relates to it, and from what I've noticed is you only get to pick, like it says, yeah, these would be good for these kind of careers, but then you only get the option to choose the higher level of one career. I don't know if that was just me messing it up, but anyways, and so yeah, that's it. I don't know, I just would have liked to see more degrees. Like, it wouldn't have been hard. They just have to come up with some flavor text. I mean, you know, I wrote 1,400 words. I could have done that in an hour. There's some flavor text for you, baby. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't have been hard for them to have more degrees. I would have liked to see each career have a degree that related to it, or, you know, a bit more detail. But anyways, that's okay. That's fine. So, to finish a degree, you must complete 12 classes, and you can split it however you like. So, you can do in 3 terms, you can do 4 classes, and that'll get you a degree. Or you can do 4 terms and have 3 classes a term, and that'll still get you a degree. And each term is a sim week. So, yeah. So, I've already told you how many classes you need to finish a degree. So now let's talk a bit more about other classes. Like, what can you do at class? What are the classes like? Are they interesting? Are they engaging? No, they're not. But that's okay. Okay, so there's also elective classes which don't count towards your degree that you can do, like cooking and writing, and they're kind of cool. They get you some skills, and I don't know, but personally I think they're a little bit of a waste of time because they don't actually count towards your degree. And since EA did not add in any extra lifespan, you are pretty much wasting time doing them because it takes 3 weeks to finish a degree at the quickest, and that is pretty much your whole young adult life. So if you take an elective class and push it up to 4 terms, that is your whole young adult life. So personally, I thought, you know, it's a waste unless you play with aging off, which I thought maybe would be a good idea because I'm like, wow, that's really dumb. I don't know. I would have liked to see at least a week or 2 added to the lifespan either way, but who do I know? I would have also liked to see that maybe, I don't know, you could take up AP classes in high school, and you could, you know, maybe over your teen life you could do, let's say you could do 4 AP classes. That would drop a term off your like your college. I don't know. That would have been cool. But it didn't happen, so, you know, that's just me. But anyways, so what else can you do that's class related? So you can also take skill classes. You don't even need to be enrolled in university to do this. You can just send any old average Joe down to the uni and say, hey, I want to learn about programming. And you can sit in on a skill class, and it gives them a bit of a boost to the skill, which is pretty cool. It makes me very reminiscent of Sims 3, where you could go to pretty much every place. Like, you know, you could do a cooking class at the local restaurant. You know, you could do a logic class at the science lab. So it was kind of nice to see that little throwback, I guess. I don't know if it was meant to be a throwback, but it was nice. Your Sims can also tutor other Sims. It's via a rabbit hole. It's not engaging or anything. That's how we do here. So you get a bit of cash. It's kind of cool because you can be like, yeah, I'm good at research and debate, or I'm good at painting, and you just go to the little building and you say, hey, I want to tutor someone, and you get a couple hundred simoleons, and it's pretty cool, and it boosts your skill at the same time because you're like teaching it. It's kind of fun, so that's kind of cool. Now, how do classes actually work? Wow, I've got a lot of notes here. Okay, I was cranky when I was writing this, obviously. So your Sims go to class for a couple hours each day, and it seems to be, from what I've played with university, is at most you get 2 classes a day. So if let's say you enroll in 2 classes in a term, you get a class Monday and a class Tuesday. If you enroll in 4 classes, you get a class 2 classes Monday, 2 classes Tuesday, and then they alternate. So, you know, and there's a day on and off. So that's kind of cool. I liked that they limited that a little bit. I thought that was clever, and so you didn't have to go to 4 classes every day. You've got homework to complete every day. That's going to boost your grade. Each class has a requirement. So it's either going to be a presentation, a term paper, or a final exam. And from what I've observed, if you do 4 classes, you're going to have 1 term paper, 1 presentation, and 2 final exams you have to sit. But you still have to sit final exams for the other 2 classes, so you have to sit them for all classes, which is pretty cool. Bit of a side note here, I really liked how the presentation part of this worked. I thought it was a nice interaction. It was a nice animation. It was done well, I think. You had to, if you've not seen the series or you're not, you know, you've not played University yet, you get to, you get a little board and you've got to research the topic and your sim puts some notes on it, and you can visually see the notes kind of go into your board and them changing it. You've got to refine it, so you tidy up your notes and it gets neater. You can practice presenting, and then you do actually get to present it, which I thought was quite a satisfying experience because you could see the changes happening. Your sim could practice it. It was nice to see the progress, which is, I think they did that part of the classes and like the skills you need to do with class really well. I thought that was quite nice. Now on to the part that I thought was not nice about classes. I've got 2 little things that I thought. You spend a lot of time just staring at something in university and not doing anything, because if you, I don't know, if you are doing, let's say you're living off campus, but you're still, you know, going to university, you're either going to be looking at the university building on like super speed mode, or you're going to be looking at your house on super speed mode. There's not much for you to do while they're in class. And if you're in a dorm, you can't even go on super speed mode because your dorm mates are there being slow and not doing stuff. So you literally just on really slow, just going and watching the dorm while you wait for your sim to come out. I think they could have kind of combated this a little bit if they maybe had some outdoor classes, or even had like a window into the university so that you could see what was going on, or even if there was like a basic classroom for all the degrees and you could at least go in there and watch your sim, or you can like, and you'd have like, okay, yeah, I want to take notes, and you could see your sim like scribbling and taking notes a bit better, or you could see them like slacking off and talking to their friends. Like, at least you could see something instead of just staring at a wall. I don't know, I thought that was not very engaging. If they didn't want to do that, it would have been nice if they could like do a mini game, like even if you could just like play like a Connect 4 or something, I don't know, but it would have been nice because I find it a little bit boring, and as a content creator, it's a little bit tricky to narrate and be interesting, because I always try to do something that's, I mean, obviously, you know, if they've got their job, that's fine, they can go to their job, but there's not really anything you can do to make it interesting. And this is my other complaint, is if you are studying 4 classes in a term, that is literally all you can do. You can't go out and have fun. You literally just got to do your homework, go to sleep and stuff. I'm going to be honest, how I got around with this in my series so that I could still have some engaging content with everybody is I cheated their needs, and I did homework, presentations, term papers at night when they should have been sleeping. And then I cheated it again in the morning, and then I started the episode, and then we went to class, and then we went out and did something. That's the only reason I could do stuff. I cheated. Like, there was, because no one wants to just watch me studying with my sims. Like, it was really boring. That was quite repetitive. So that was my kind of, like, you know, gripe is you were literally just on a skill grind for 3 sim weeks straight at most, and I felt you couldn't really take any longer because, if you're playing on a normal lifespan, 3 sim weeks is a lot of time. And like I've mentioned earlier, they could have done stuff like having AP classes as a teenager. They could have taken into account their grade. They could have done anything to reduce this time, or they could have given us another week on, the young adult and the adult lifespan, and I would have been happy with that. But with how they've done it, I really don't think that, I could do it so I just found it a bit boring because it was literally just a skill grind of doing homework, and, it was just, I don't know, I wasn't a fan. So those were my issues with classes and how the whole term system ran and stuff like that. So that's how it works. So you finally, very painfully sat through all your rabbit hole classes, and you've waited for the nights to pass in your dorm. And your sim is graduating. That's right, we've made it through. I'm going to talk about graduation next. And much like most of the things in the pack, I found this to be a disappointment. So, surprise, surprise, it is another rabbit hole that you don't get to look at. Now, I would have had no issue with this if there was some interesting content going on beforehand or afterhand. Afterwards, that's the right one. So, beforehand, your sim gets a notification to say, hey, there's a graduation. So you go there, you get in your robes, you get in your hat, and your sims stand there. All the other sims that were doing university with you, they stand there. They all stand there. They don't interact. There's no, fun activities to do beforehand. They literally just stand there. And then they all walk into the university, and you wait for the rabbit hole to do its thing. And then they walk out, and they throw their hats, and then they leave. There's no... Like in the trailer, it was a lie. There was a party with the trailer, they were celebrating, there was music, there was juice pong. I would have been okay if we had something to do beforehand or afterwards, but there wasn't. It was literally, they stood there like little robots just waiting. They went in, you waited, they threw their hats, that was it. A couple days later, you get your diploma and also a graduation photo in the mail. And personally, I think the graduation photo is the only redeeming part of graduation. I thought it was terrible. Honestly, there was nothing fun about it. There wasn't an option to throw a special social event like a graduation party. You couldn't bring any of your friends and family. My Sim's husband literally didn't say anything about her graduating. It's like, oh yeah, you graduated great. I graduated great. They didn't get a call or a text from any of their family members. To me, if someone finished a university degree, you'd take them out for dinner. You'd say congratulations. There was no special interactions. There was nothing. It was just, you finished. That's it. I thought it was really disappointing. There was no nothing. No lackluster. It was just very blame. So, talking about disappointing things relating to graduation. I know, I'm so sorry. So you do this university degree and you work really hard, and I don't know, it's all good and stuff, and it's great, but then you can only claim one graduation reward right away, and so you pretty much, the bonuses you get from signing on as a graduate, you can only take with one sim. So because my sim and her husband both did a degree at the same time, they did different degrees, only one of them could take the bonus because, I didn't work hard and get them both through, but because they were both in the same household, and it even works when they're not in the same household, you can't take the bonus, because I had, in my series, Cameron married one of my Sims and Lilith married another one of my Sims, and I did an episode with Cameron and I got him a job And then I went and did another episode with Lilith and her spouse, and she couldn't take on the bonus because Cameron had taken the bonus in the episode previously, so there was not even like a full sim day between that. I mean, there was kind of like, I had Cameron do that the morning and she was trying the same morning, and so I thought that was really lame that you kind of get punished for playing with more than one sim at university. I was like, wow, that's really sad. Like, I worked really hard to get all these sims through university, and then I can only claim the reward for one of them. I thought that was really dumb. I don't know, like, I get it's kind of like a way to stop you like cheating, but it's hard to get more than one sim through university. Like, I did university with just a single sim off camera, and it was so much easier to do it with her than what it was to do it with Oak and Poppy, and I was cheating with Oak and Poppy. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. That's really disappointing for me. So that kind of summed it up to me, I guess. But I'm so sorry for being so negative. But like I said earlier, I wouldn't have to be if the pack was not watered down trash. I'm sorry. Like, we're going to keep on going because the people must know. I must be honest. You must all hear my thoughts because everyone cares about my opinion. It's a lie, but if you're watching a review for an honest review, maybe you're curious as to what someone thought. So that's why we're talking about it. So there's more to talk about, more to complain about. Okay, we're on to activities and skills. So I don't know why I put skills here because there's really no skill involved unless you've got Wicked Whims installed, but Shower Woohoo is a new activity you can do, and I found this disappointing as well. Surprise, surprise. They reused the closet woohoo animation, which I have no problem with, but they didn't even make Sims take clothes off first. So they get in the shower with their clothes on, and they get out with their clothes on, and there's no, like, before animation of them taking off their clothes, no after animation of them putting it back on. It's literally the closet woohoo animation. And, yeah, I think that's really lazy. I also want to know why it's not base game. Why should someone have to pay, like, $50 to get someone a reused lazy animation? That's dumb. If it was free, I wouldn't be mad. But it's not free. People are paying for this. So I think it's bad. That's it for all the new activities, because I talk about the other stuff in organizations, which we are about to talk about. So if you have any free time in between all the classes, studying, homework, all that sort of stuff, you can join organizations, which are kind of like clubs. And I actually really enjoyed them. I know you can be shocked now because there's something I like in the gameplay section. I thought the organizations were really cool. It was like a nice way to add some structure to, because the club system that came with, Get Together was nice. But what I really liked about organizations, and I'd love if we could make custom organizations, is that it added a bit more structure, because it was like, yeah, every Thursday night, this club meets at the bar for drinks, or and then every Saturday morning, they, meet and debate, because, I don't know, I just really liked it. My only kind of gripe is, one, we can't make our own organizations, because that'd be so cool if we could do that, exactly like how we do with clubs, but with organizations. I'd love to be able to do that. And I also don't like that only students can join organizations. Like, you have to be enrolled in university. There's some clubs that I think, yeah, that's fine. You can have to be a university student. I feel like that should be a requirement. Like for the Spirit Squad Club, because obviously you're not going to be a cheerleader for Foxbury if you're not enrolled in Foxbury and a student. Like, you don't want an old man being like a Foxbury cheerleader. Like, no. But an art club, why can't my grandma lady come paint with the kids? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I felt like there shouldn't have been like a a student restriction on some of the clubs. Like some of the clubs I totally get, but I don't know. So let's actually talk about the new organizations we get. There's 6 of them. So I'm going to start with the debate club. You get a new item in university, which is a debate stand, and there's 2 little podiums and Sims debate on it. I thought that this was really cute. They had some fun interactions, some silly little, debate topics like are gnomes cute or creepy. They're cute, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's some like fun little interactions here that you could do. I think it's good to mention, I like that they had a research and debate skill. I like that this skill was combined because everybody gets research skill when they're doing their university and stuff, but to have to grind another skill out would have been painful, and I think it would have made this club, organization really, really unpopular because you wouldn't have got any good at it because you just couldn't take on another thing to like skill grind. So I like that they were tied in so that you kind of could progress and stuff, and all organizations have little daily tasks, and it's kind of cute. I liked it. I thought it was fun. So another organization that came with Discover University is an art club. You pretty much got together and painted, and I thought it was really cool. And as I said earlier, I wish this was open to non-students because I think it makes sense. Next organization we got was the Bot Savants, and I really liked this club. It was cute. You can make a bunch of different robots because that's another new skill that came with Discover University is the robotics. And so you can make a bunch of different robots, some that clean, some that party, some that kids can play with. There's all sorts of ones. You can also make a plumber, which is a new life state, and you can it's pretty much like having a sim in your house that's a robot. They need recharging and tuning up, and I think it's kind of cool. They can do pretty much everything a sim can do apart from get wet and also make babies. But yes, your sims can woohoo with them. That's right. You can also change the color of them pretty easily, and they get traits as well, and you can modify traits and you can upgrade them, and I thought that was really cool. I'm going to mention it here, issue with the robotics and like Bot Savant stuff is that one, I would have liked a Bot Savant trait. That would have been cool. We had one in Sims 3. But I would have also liked that the materials were easier to get, or you could just buy them. So I wish you could have, because grinding out some of those materials to make robots is a real struggle. So a couple things I would have liked to see instead of it being hard. One, you can just order them on the computer. Two, if you went to the Bot Savants meeting, maybe they had a little stall there and you could buy like parts from other students. I think that would have been really cool. Or you could have went as a non-student and bought them anyways, and maybe you got a bit of a discount, and maybe they broke. They had a chance to break. Like when you use the robot, it's like, oh yeah, you bought a dodgy part from a student, it might not work. And so I think that would have been a nice kind of way to do it. Or you could have just, maybe they didn't even have that part, but just somewhere where you could have bought them, because it took so long to craft anything. Like, my goodness, I cheated. And, oh my goodness, let's talk about the robotic arm. This wasn't in my notes, but I just remembered it. You can make a robotic arm, and it looks really cool, but it does nothing. You don't make bots faster. You don't do anything faster. You don't even get a cool interactions. No one says, oh, hey, you got a robot arm. Nothing. There's nothing. I was a disappointment. It was purely cosmetic, and I was terribly disappointed when I found this out, because I worked so hard to get all the crafting materials to make this stupid arm, and then it did nothing. Nothing. Useless. And that's why I cheated in to get a plum bot, because I'm like, I'm not working that hard to be disappointed again. No. So that was my thing with robots and the Bot Savants organization. So the next organization you get are the Brainiacs, and they study. It's kind of cool. There's not much else to say about them. I think they've got a night where they go drinking, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. Next are the Spirit Squads, and I really like this club. I think it's fun. It's kind of like a club you could join if your sim doesn't have many friends, or, you know, they just want to meet some people. Each school has a Spirit Squad, and they do stuff like they hold school events, so sometimes you'll find them in the courtyard, like playing games and stuff, playing juice pongs. They've got a keg. It's kind of cool. They dress up as mascots and they go prank the other school. It's kind of lighthearted fun. It's pretty easy, and you know, any sim can get into it. It kind of gets you into the zone of like, yeah, I love this school. Woo! I don't know. It just kind of gets you in the zone. So I really like the Spirit Squad. I think it's probably my favorite club, actually. I did like the debate club, but I really just like the Spirit Squads. They're easy, you know, there's no real commitment. You can go cheer if you want to. It's just kind of, yeah, you know, it's kind of good. And lastly, this is the Secret Society. So anyone from any school can join this. Again, you have to be a member. Again, kind of dumb. I wish this one was not like a locked one, but that's okay. So to join the Secret Society, you need to do something. I'm not going to tell you what, because maybe you are watching this as a proper review instead of, you know, that. But anyways, you can go watch my series on it, or you can Google it. I Googled it. I didn't work it out. I'm not that smart. So pretty much there's a secret club, and they worship these secret little spirits. They're called sprites, I believe. And they're kind of cool. Once you're a member, you can go to their secret club place and they don't run away. You wear a mask and robes. Sprites don't actually do much. I think you can get them to attack people, maybe. And other than that, they just come to you and be like, hey, go do something interesting, or else I'm going to be mad with you. And then they punish you. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool, and you get some funky little moodlets and stuff like that. But that is pretty much it for my review. Overall, what was my final thoughts? I think you can probably tell what I'm going to say here. If the pack is on sale and you like the creator sim, you like the build mode items, maybe buy it. If you're interested in the gameplay, I'm just going to warn you, you probably won't get much replayability out of it, and you'll be staring at a wall for a very long time, and a lot of the gameplay features, as I mentioned, like with dorms, personally, I think are broken. So take it as it is. It's something to do. You might find it interesting. Again, depends on your budget, but I would recommend waiting for this pack to be on sale if you are going to buy it, because you know, I don't know. I just can't wholeheartedly recommend you buying this pack for full price. It's just, you know, I started the review with Discover Disappointment, and I was disappointed at so many things in relation to this pack, like the dorms, the shower woohoo, the general gameplay, the lack of things like interactions you could do, them not adding extra time for you to complete, how long it'd take, you know, it just, to me, the cons outweighed the positives. But like I said, if you like the creator sim and you like the build mode items, maybe buy it when it's on sale and, you know, give it a go. You might enjoy it more than I did, but I found it really disappointing. I thought the Sims 3 and the Sims 2 experience for university was much better. But, you know, that's just me. That's just me. But final little note here, not really about the pack. When the next pack comes out, I will of course be playing it here on the channel. So if you're new here, this is like my little expansion pack legacy. So each time a new pack comes out, we start a new generation. So we've been playing with Oak and Poppy, my Sims who you've seen a little bit in the Sims that are kind of playing in the background. And we've been playing with them. We played with them in our Realm of Magic series when they were teenagers. But now we're going to be playing with their daughter, Daisy. when the new expansion pack comes out. And we'll probably play with their other daughter, Ash, when the new game pack comes out. And then when another expansion pack goes, we'll go back to Daisy's child. But that's kind of how it works here. So if you want to catch up on my university series or any of the previous expansion pack series, I suggest you do it now before the new pack comes out, because they have confirmed that there's a new pack coming out on the, I don't know when, but in the next 6 months. And you know, that's kind of cool, I guess. Well, they've announced that there's going to be a new pack, and like an expansion pack, a stuff pack, a game pack. So one would assume there'd be one every 2 months. I'm recording this on the 19th of April, so it's very possible they've already announced the new pack. But yeah, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed and stuck around for this little legacy I've got going on. So thank you so much if you're still here. It's been a long one. I had a feeling it would, but I have to give my honest, detailed opinion of these things because I feel like that's important and someone has to do it. So I've taken upon myself to do that. So anyways, thank you so much for still being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!